Welcome to Global and Media Stocks to Watch. I'm Michael Swido. I'm speaking today with Ewan Mason. He's the chairman, president, and CEO of Canada's Star Diamond Corporation. Ewan, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me, Michael.
Great to see you. I love that backdrop, by the way.
Diamonds.
Diamonds, there they are. Star Diamond's biggest project is in central Saskatchewan. It's called Fort Alacorn, and it's wholly owned by your company. Though not too long ago, one of the giants of the mining world, Rio Tinto, held a 75% stake in it. Your company had a 25% stake before reaching a deal with Rio Tinto to acquire the project outright. Ewan, tell us, why did you want to own 100% of this project? What drove that decision?
Well, we've been at this for quite some time, almost 30 years, and almost $1 billion has gone into the project. It's the world's largest undeveloped high-purity diamond mine with closeology all over the place. It's close to everything you could imagine, hydroelectric power, logistics, and it's in the province of Saskatchewan in Canada, which is very mining friendly. Rio Tinto came along 7 years ago. They wanted to earn into the project. They were going to complete a feasibility study and move this forward to mine production. Unfortunately, somewhere in between that time period, they had a whole management shakeup, and the executives that were diamond friendly were pushed out. And so when Rio came to us in March of 2022 with their joint venture presentation, all 240 pages of it, telling us how they were going to move this project ahead, we were like, okay, gangbusters, let's go. They took it to their executive committee and were told they weren't going to be investing any more money in this type of diamond project, and they were moving on to other minerals like critical minerals, copper, etc. So we were shocked and not willing to let this go nowhere. We negotiated with Rio Tinto over the succeeding year and a half, and managed to get it all back for a song and a dance.
Yeah, you certainly did. I mean, I can't imagine the shock you must have felt, seeing this amazing briefing document over 200 pages, like you say, knowing they've sunk so much money into the project, and then hearing, hey, we don't want to do this anymore. And like you say, you got it for a song and a dance, because, I mean, when I look at the terms of the deal, I mean, yes, they got a 20% stake in your company, and they're actually giving you money as well for that stake, 4 million Canadian dollars, plus they put up another 10 million for a line of credit. Really is something. So, I mean, like you said, the officials at Rio Tinto, they decided they were going to go in a different direction. They're going to focus on metals and minerals to support the energy transition. But now they own 20% of your company, and they have an agreement in place that gives them the rights to maintain that stake should you decide to issue new shares in future. So I'm curious, do you think this will make it easier for Star Diamond to obtain funding and support going forward?
Yes, we were shocked, but more shocked than us was the Rio Tinto staff in Saskatoon, all 36 of them, who had thought they were going to be building the world's largest diamond mine. So, Rio's involvement now, the team in that segment of their business was not happy with the decision, and I get the feeling they think they're going to be back one day. And so they arranged to have quite a few tentacles into us, not just the right to participate in financing, but the right to match any takeover offer. So I think it sends a very good signal to everybody. What the impact will be is yet to be seen, but certainly from our standpoint, we were happy to allow it.
Sounds like a great partner to have. I mean, still can't get over that shock of walking away from such a huge project, but I would say, from a business standpoint, good to see that they're still involved. And I think it's worth pointing out that Rio Tinto is not the only major mining company with a stake in Star Diamond. Newmont owns a little more than 12% of your stock. I want to take a step back now and talk about the market for diamonds. Demand soared during the pandemic, but it's softened a bit since then. Where do you see diamond prices headed now?
Well, for the last couple of years, we've been in what I would call a near recessionary environment. And in that sort of environment, consumers do not purchase expensive diamonds in great amounts. That's just the fact of it. So I think what's happened here, we've had a little bit of a negative from that. And that's created this 20 or 25% price drop. However, I think the sun is coming up over the horizon here with the implementation of sanctions, which are now going to rule out all Russian diamonds from the diamond jewelry market. And Russia produces 30% of these diamonds. And the G7 and EU countries consume 75% of these diamonds. So we're figuring for a bit of a price bump here. It may be quite monstrous. And I think we've got calls in the last month from wholesalers and polishers in Israel, in Asia asking to buy our diamonds, and we're not even in production yet. So this tells me there's going to be a serious impact on the market.
And really interesting to talk about that supply shock. Another thing influencing prices, perhaps, are lab-grown diamonds. They're becoming increasingly common. Some analysts say the market for these could reach 38 billion US dollars within the next few years. Are you at all concerned about competition to the real thing? How does this impact your business?
Well, we're concerned about everything that might impact our business, but the production of synthetic diamonds at the very bottom of our concern list for a couple of reasons. Number one, the price disparity between large carat man-made diamonds and natural diamonds is an order of magnitude. So you're talking at a 7 carat diamond, you're talking $7,000 per carat for synthetic, $70,000 per carat for the real thing. And so, people that believe in quality, which is what we have, the largest, purest diamonds on the planet, will always want to buy the real thing. Synthetic diamonds have a place, though. They have a place in the industrial market, smaller carat, and I think that's where they'll be successful. And indeed, some retailers have even said they're interested in synthetic diamonds because you can actually grow a diamond to the shape you want. So I think that's interesting, kind of gimmicky. But let's face it, synthetic diamonds, you can make an infinite number of synthetic diamonds. You can make billions of them. Anything that has that sort of characteristic on the supply side is essentially valueless. And most wholesalers will now tell you they don't buy them anymore because, unless you're Walmart, because there's no value to them. Once they go out the store, they're worth zero.
Okay, and that's certainly not the case with what you guys have in the ground. And speaking of that, let's return to the Fort Corne property now. Give us a brief overview. What's the potential of the site?
Well, that's a great question, Michael. As I mentioned earlier, we had this joint venture meeting with Rio Tinto in March of 2022. They had gone ahead and sort of modeled an 84-year mine life. 84 years they were going to be mining there, and they hadn't even finished their exploration program. So this project will go on essentially forever, and it'll produce some of the biggest diamonds ever found by mankind. And Rio Tinto said to us, look, out of every 200,000 diamonds that get mined, or tons of ore that get mined, and that's only 5 days production, by the way, from our mining plan, there will be 100 diamonds over 10.8 carats in size, and one of them will be over 100 carats in size, which would be worth tens of millions of dollars. So I would say the potential is limitless.
Looking ahead, what are your next steps going forward this year? Are there plans to release any new studies on the property soon?
Well, our technical team has been working very hard since we found out Rio was moving on. We've been looking at ways to shortcut getting to the pre-feasibility and feasibility study. We believe we've found those. We'll be releasing a resource upgrade within the next month, and that'll lead right into a pre-feasibility study and a final feasibility study within the next 2 years, which means technically there could be spades in the ground in the next 3 to 5 years. And the cost of this is only, it'll be less than $15 million.
So spades in the ground in 3 to 5 and diamonds coming out.
Absolutely.
All right, let's take a look at the investment side of the equation now. Shares your company, or your company, I should say, has a market cap of about 38 million Canadian dollars. Its shares have been trading within a relatively narrow range for the past year, but they're up about 6 to 7% since January. Tell us, why do you think investors should take a fresh look at your company? Why is it a stock to watch?
Well, as I mentioned at the very beginning, this is a very late stage project. It's likely carbon neutral, which is very favorable in this market because everybody wants to know where their diamonds are coming from. You add that to the closeology comment that I made earlier. It's right by the highway. It's right by hydroelectric power. So that's not going to cost a lot of money, and it's going to be environmentally friendly. On top of that, and most importantly, is the implementation of these diamond sanctions. This is really going to bump the price, and it'll bump our price too. It'll bump companies that are producing more, obviously, but the future looks much better because these sanctions are never going to go away. Even if Russia stopped their invasion of Ukraine tomorrow, there'd still be war crimes trials. There'd still be reparations. This is going to go on for decades.
So we're talking about environmentally friendly, socially responsible diamonds, no conflict diamonds here, and a supply side shock that really is going to boost prices and really is coming at just the right time for your project. Very interesting.
So,
Ewan, thank you very much. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, and we look forward to more updates as it moves forward.
all right, Michael, thanks. You'll get them.
We've been speaking with Star Diamond Chairman and CEO Ewan Mason, and you've been watching Global One Media's Stocks to Watch. I'm Michael Suarez.